Facebook. This is Halle at Robert Andrews Laser and Medical Aesthetics in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Today I have actually a guest with me, and this is Crystal. She'll be joining me today, and what I'd like to do is I'm going to walk Crystal through a consultation. So when you come to my practice, a lot of times people don't really know what to expect and they get a little bit nervous. So I want to put you all at ease and let you know what we do from the start to the finish. So how are you, Crystal?
I'm good, thank you.
Great. And what's bringing you in today?
I'm actually interested in having fuller lips, and I wanted you to check my forehead to see if I'm anywhere near having the brow creasing, and maybe talk about some skin rejuvenation.
Okay, great. So are you ready to go back to the room?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like a glass of wine?
Oh, yes, please.
Now, legally, we can serve wine as long as we're not doing a procedure. Today, Crystal and I had already discussed we're not really doing a procedure today. We're just going to walk through the consultation. Come on, Crystal. So, one of my lovely staff were kind enough to go ahead and pour you a glass, and we're going to go back into my room. Now, typically, we would be taking pictures beforehand. That would be something that we're going to skip over today, just because for sake of being on the video. But go ahead and have a seat. And don't be nervous. Thank you so much for doing this. Yay. Okay, so Crystal initially talked about, she wants to have fuller lips. So let's talk about what we can do with that. And some of you guys have heard of filler and hyaluronic acid that we put in it. I've done a lot of videos previously with Juvéderms, and that's what I would actually recommend for your lips because they're starting to show a little bit of lines in there. And one syringe,
Can you show me?
it just depends on your ultimate goal. Are you looking for big lips or just more plump lips?
Just fuller, plumper, not too much.
Okay.
That'd be my first.
Great. So what I would recommend is one syringe of Juvéderm Ultra Plus or Vollure. And we talked, Vollure I like because it lasts a year and a half. Although it's not typically marketed for the lips, it's one of my favorite products in the lips because it doesn't swell so much. So it's really a soft product that plumps your lips up a little bit. So a little bit more, but not over the top. So I don't want to say a little bit. They're going to give her nicer, fuller lips. But when you're looking at yourself as a teenager, that's kind of what they'll look like by the time it's done cooking and setting in there. Okay? Now, in regards to, can you go ahead and press first for me right there? Okay, so as you can see, Crystal's got some little lines that are forming. She's actually doing fabulous. She, after I've heard a little bit about her story, I can't believe she's the age that she is, and she doesn't really have a lot of lines. But what I would like to do is put some Botox in here, and what that's going to do is open you up and open up your eyes and lift you up. In addition to that, can you move your forehead up, honey? Can you just lift those brows? Not with your hands, just with your face. Go ahead and give me, the aha. Yeah. So what I can see is she's starting to get a little bit of this laxity. She may be a good candidate later on in life for a blepharoplasty. But right now, we can actually put some Botox. And Crystal's never had anything done before. So I would recommend some Botox. And usually I've been looking at, with her, probably doing about 16 units here and about 14 units in her forehead. In addition to that, if later on you decide, go ahead and smile for me. She's going to give me a big smile. There she goes. I would recommend maybe about 10 units around her eyes, each eye on the Botox. We also were discussing your actual skin condition. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I have the little red splotches, which my dermatologist says is actinin keratosis. And so you have to do a cream to get that healed up to make it go away.
Yeah, so that's actually precancerous cells. So you don't want those on your face, and they're kind of difficult to get rid of. So there's a number of treatments, and our dermatologist is already addressing that. So we're not going to get into that, but what I did notice is your texture of your skin has changed a little bit. And she'd also discussed that she's getting a few fine lines and wrinkles through here, a lot of which are sleep lines. I can really see it even over here. Those are actually, they call them marionette lines. Or not marionette, they call them a birthday hat line, right? So we can wear a little birthday hat and we have a little string right there. So I recommend either of a couple different things. You can definitely put some filler in there. And if I put a filler, a Vollure, again, would be a wonderful filler. It's made by Allergan, just like Botox, but it's a Juvéderm product. That one lasts a year and a half. We could definitely do that. But I think even better than that, when we were talking about your neck as well, I think either, you know, an IPL, number one, and then a fractional laser. So let's talk about that. I have a number of lasers here, and I also suggested maybe even microneedling. So we just brought on the skin pen and a new Eclipse Evolve microneedling pen. Those are fabulous, just to put little micro, you know, little, basically baby little holes all around your face that heal together, and it really heals exponentially overnight. So that's one option. But I think for your age and what we discussed, a fractional with RF, radio frequency, a sublative would be better. That's our Elos Plus device, and that's a great one because that's going to put RF energy in there, renewing collagen, elastin, and giving her a really overall nice shine. And prior to that, we might even want to do an IPL, which is your intense pulse light. We have a machine that's made by Palomar. It's a Cynosure Palomar Icon, and that's fabulous. And it actually is phenomenal, and it pulls all those yucky impurities that are underneath the skin that we can't even see. So when we talked about the neck, she had asked me about a neck lift. I don't think she has enough skin yet for a necklace. So if I was a surgeon and actually talking to my surgeon, she really doesn't. But she's getting what they call kind of a tech neck, and that's from leaning down. And typically women have longer necks than men. And that's just, you know, so it's just more apparent. And a beautiful neck is always lovely. So in order to do that, I told her we could hyper dilute some filler. And there's a couple different fillers. I can actually add a little bit of saline, mix it up, and it makes it a little bit thinner. But when I fan it in here, it does a beautiful job in trying to actually give you a lot more structure in your neck. And then I would also recommend some microneedling or laser as well.
So are the results then that you've used technical terms for the tools you're going to use, but does that mean it's going to retexture my skin and it's just going to like give it a glow and just make it look smoother?
It's going to make it look a lot smoother. It's really good for helping erase and start erasing fine lines and wrinkles. Sometimes it's going to be an actual a series of lasers. So you may actually have to do up to 4 of them to really get the ultimate effect that you're looking for. But what you should see is definitely a lot more glow, better texture to your skin, and a lot more radiance. In addition to the fact we're not going to have these lines as apparent as what we're getting right now. And it's very preventative as we age. And so there you go. So do you have any other questions for me?
My question has to do with, as far as the lips, how long would that generally last? How many touch-ups do I usually have to do in a year?
Okay, so that's a good question, thank you. So a year and a half is typically what Vollure lasts. That's why I also like it. It lasts a little bit longer, so I'm always going to follow up with a 2-week follow-up with you. And then at that 2 weeks, we'll make sure that all the symmetry's there and that you basically have gotten the results. We can always add more filler at any point in time if you decide you want more full lips. So any of these are buildable services other than the Botox. Botox is every 3 months, and that's usually going to manage and maintain the, you know, what we've actually done to lift you and smooth out those lines around your eyes. So any other questions? No?
I think I have a good idea.
Great. Well, thank you, Crystal, and thank you, everybody, for watching. That's our consultation, kind of in a nutshell, as they say. You're welcome. And call us at 719-434-3075, or look at us up, at robertandrewsmedical.com. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care and happy weekend.